Starting to make jewelry from home is easier in 2025 if you know one of these important things, that is how to store your jewelry findings in a way that you can easily find them and use them. Hello ethicalpreneurs, this is Akos Creative. I'm sharing behind the scenes of storage ideas I have in storing my jewelry. Now, if you are a beginner and you are on very tight budget, you might want to stay tuned and listen to this video to the end, because I'm going to show you some of the simple hacks to help you start making jewelry and to save as little as maybe $10 to storage ideas. Now, I'm someone who uses a lot of beads. For example, I made these resin beads myself at home, and I also buy Ghana Krobo beads and also buy beads from all over the world. I also use colorful African wax print fabric for my geometric shape earrings. So ethicalpreneurs, it's me Akos again, and today I want to push the idea that anyone can start making jewelry. 2025 is the year for you to start making your own jewelry at home. And today I'm going to take you through some of the jewelry containers and storage ideas that I have. Now, some of them are ones that I bought purposely for storing jewelry, and some I also used containers I found all over the house. For instance, I have this lunch box. It's more like a bento box, and I used this container to store my jewelry making tools. So I've got my pliers here, and I've got my hole punches here, and some more jewelry making tools. So this is what I'm going to be talking about today, how you can repurpose containers, storage for other things, and use them for your jewelry. If today is your first time, please subscribe to this channel as I keep sharing more behind the scenes ideas to help you start making jewelry at home at very budget friendly prices. So join me now. Hello ethicalpreneurs. So I want to take you through some of the containers that I use. Now, this plastic container, you can tell the dimensions. It's about 15 by 8 centimeters, I would say, and the depth is about 10 or a little bit more. But I bought them as a group of about 9 containers, and they came like so in my local shop. And I think I already showed you this bento lunch box. There were dividers in the box which I've taken out, and I'm using it to store some of my jewelry making tools, such as the pliers.
Wow.
So probably some of you are already familiar with how sometimes all you can do is to repurpose containers that you would otherwise throw in the recycle bin. You can recycle them for your jewelry making tools, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yes!
So you can type in the comment box if any of these setup reminds you of how you started. I've been doing jewelry for about 8 years now, and I do it more on part-time basis. So I don't do it full-time like some of you guys do, but I keep changing my setup every now and then, and I'm quite satisfied with how things are going.
Yes!
Now, one thing that blocks people from starting something such as jewelry is, can I do it? Do I have the right materials? I would say yes. You don't need very expensive things. Simple pliers you can start with. And I would make a tutorial on the most basic jewelry making pliers that you can start with. But today we are looking at some of the storage ideas in case you might have some of these containers or boxes at home. You don't need to throw them away. You can put them aside to start storing your jewelry. That's the whole idea. Now we can have a look at some of the more purposeful containers for jewelry. When I say purposeful, I mean they have boxes for jewelry supplies. So I have this one here, and as you can see, it might be about 40 by 30, and the height is about 15 or 18 centimeters. So this is how this one looks like. Inside this box, I've got some jewelry beads, which I found actually today.
Yes!
So some of these beads were donated to me by friends. Sometimes friends give me some of their jewelry. Some of them too are old ones I bought that I never quite found the right project to use them for. So there we are. I've got more bead storage boxes, and this is how this one looks like. Okay, so I've got different types of beads, and this form part of some of the stash that were donated to me by friends. And there are more boxes inside this container. And then we have lots of beads here. Like I mentioned, most of the beads have been donated to me by friends, and I still keep them, hoping to make one of my unique bracelets using these beads.
Oh my.
Now, what a clever idea to use the pill box for storing very small jewelry findings like metal beads or seed beads. You can easily use the pill box to store some of your beads. It's such a smart idea.
Nice.
And we have these round containers which you can easily unscrew, and I have more metal findings inside here. So you need to be very careful when you're using these containers to store your jewelry. Make sure that they don't break easily. You can easily screw on and screw off, and they can keep your jewelry. Now I want to show you one of these containers. I actually got this one off Temu recently.
Wow.
So this has about 38 little boxes inside, and I will show you how this looks. So this is how this looks like.
Wow.
This container has several of these little boxes, about 36 of them inside. So you can easily use it to store very small beads. And that's what I have done. These are my seed beads. That's how I store them.
Yes!
And I want to show you just about this. I got this one from Temu as well, and this is like a 3-tier container box, and the top comes off and it's got compartments. And what I've done is to stash a few beads into the same level of container, and we've got 3 of them, so they all come off. You just have to peel the sides off, and you can lift that off. And be careful when you are sitting them back on to make sure you hear that click sound. And when putting the top on too, you need to hear that click sound. There you go, and it's all secured. So this is very portable. You can actually carry this along with you. Very easy to find spaces to put them inside. And I have a bigger storage box here as well. Now, this opens at the front. And I think I showed some of you guys this in my previous video. So this has about 12 or 16 compartments. And I have stashed some of my more precious stainless steel hooks inside this. Now, some of you may wonder, why have I kept all my things in plastics?
Yes!
It's because they are quite different metals that are put together, and I prefer to keep them in the packaging in which they came. These days, when you buy something online, or even if you buy them in the shop, they still come with the plastics. And what I do with the plastics are, I reuse them. So I don't easily throw away my plastics, but I use them to keep some of the loose beads from previous projects, so that I create very little waste and also reduce the amount of plastic waste that goes into the rubbish bin. So that's the idea about recycling: reusing, repurposing containers, materials, or storages that can be repurposed. So there we go. Now, today you've seen some of the storage ideas. They don't have to cost a lot. When you want to get budget-friendly storage, you can get them online. You can also get them from your local opportunity shop, or you can use materials that you find around the house. And the materials you find around the house can include packaging materials or containers for other items that might be lying around in your home, or from previous purchases of jewelry making materials. I hope you enjoyed this session. I'm a course creative. I hope you join me in my upcoming videos where I get into making actual crafts. But I thought some of you may be wondering how I store different materials. As some of you know, I create very different jewelry. Today I'm wearing resin. I also make fabric geometric dangle earrings, and I make bracelets, and I make necklace. So where do I store all those things? And just 1 second, I also want to show you some of the fabric of cats. I'm still working out how to store my fabric of cats, but for now they are all stashed in this plastic bag. So I wanted to show you some of the fabric of cats. And for the fabric of cats, and this is the piece from Ghana, and that's the top I'm wearing, if you haven't noticed. So these are fabric of cats, and for them, I haven't quite worked out where to store my fabric of cats. I only stash them in a bag. It's sitting somewhere in one of my huge jewelry boxes. Guys, thank you for staying with me and joining me in this video. Now, type in the comment box how you find storage for your jewelry. I know there are a lot of fancy boxes out there, but these are for people who want to start making jewelry on a budget. Just for you to know that you don't need to spend a whole lot of money in storing your jewelry findings, materials, tools, and so on. You can use materials lying about the house that are not used, that is repurposing materials. You can invest in some storage boxes for under $10, or, well,
Nice.
you know what I mean. Thank you guys for joining me. Until my next video, ciao. Bye.